Hey guys, I hope you're doing great today as we're coming to you and you're probably still in your home and we still miss you and love you. And right now, I think a lot of us can resonate with the fact that there's not a lot of peace in this world. And I know for a fact that I feel as if like every day, like I've had to delete the news app off my phone because it stresses me out. And I feel like there's no peace. And this kind of reminds me of a time where I felt something similar to this. I was in middle school, and most of you probably were very little at this point, but the financial crisis in 2008, 2009, 2010, and around that area. My family wasn't hit super hard, actually, in 2008 or 2009, but it actually came in 2010. And some stuff happened. My dad was a pastor. He was unjustly let go from a church for just some ridiculous things that weren't even true. And I remember just feeling like I do almost kind of daily right now. Like everything's crumbling and I don't know what to do. I feel like everything's out of my control. You could say that I don't feel at peace. A lot of worries. And I just remember coming to my parents and just saying, guys, I don't know what I'm experiencing. I've never felt this way before because I lived a good life. Never experienced this before. And some of you might be experiencing this for this time where you feel like everything is just like crazy and super stressful. And my parents said, don't worry, God's got it. And at first, my first reaction was, okay, great. That sounds like something I could see on a poster or my youth pastor is going to tweet out at me. Like, I bet God's got it. And it didn't really stick with me. And then I just remember in different ways God's showing up. Like I remember one day when we ran out of toilet paper, which is actually funny, me saying this right now. I didn't make that connection with the toilet paper crisis of 2020. And we had some people that were really kind and dropped some off at our door. I remember I was really wanting chocolate chip cookies and someone came and brought us chocolate chips and they just showed up at our front door. I just remember God showing up and helping us pay bills through people around us. And it's just amazing how God showed up. And my parents told me God's got it. And at that moment, I'm like, I bet. Let's just believe that God's got it. Yeah, sounds good, Mom and Dad. But what they were really saying is, trust Him. Don't worry. Trust in God. Philippians 4 says, Philippians 4:6 says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Don't worry about anything. We often let our worries and concerns drive everything we do. When something makes us feel stressed, when we're worried about something, it becomes our main focus. We focus right on that. We sit there and think about it. We can't sleep. We text our friends about it. We maybe don't have anyone to text about it, so it makes us even more worried. We get super stressed out. And the last thing we feel like doing is praying because it makes us actually put ourselves in a place of trust where you actually have to let go. But that's what God wants you to do. Don't worry about everything. Instead, pray about everything. So my challenge is for you guys, don't let the worry suck the life out of you. God wants to hear about what's going on so that He can put His arm around you. Next, it says into verse 6, thank Him for all He has done. Right now, I'm thinking about how stressful things are and how I don't feel at peace at times. My wife is an ICU nurse. So every single day when she leaves for work, my little brain starts wondering about all the people that she might get sick from. I remember how God's shown up, how God showed up in the past, how God is faithful, because God is faithful today, tomorrow, yesterday. God is always faithful. That never changes. But for you to experience the peace that God has for you, you will experience God's peace, which exceeds everything. And for you to experience His peace that He promises in Philippians 4:7, then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything you can understand. And His peace will guard your heart. And for God's peace to guard your heart, you've got to let Him guard it. You've got to trust him. You've got to dive headfirst in, and you got to believe that he's going to show up. So guys, believe it. Focus on God. Focus on that he is strong enough. I tell you what, guys, we don't trust God enough. Focus on that he has the ability to help you and that he will change your worries into peace. A peace that you can't even imagine. And when God says he's going to guard you, he's going to guard you. Trust God, guys. Peace will come. Love you.